Good afternoon. Today we're covering this topic, ESGs, Coca-Cola sustainability. We'll go over these topics, exactly environmental practices, social responsibility in corporate government, which makes ESG. So our analysis today is based on Coca-Cola's ESG practices and sustainability reports. We will dive into environmental and social and government strategies today. Our primary source, as I already said, is the sustainability report of 2022, published by Coca-Cola Company. We'll use Excel to visualize the data trends, and we will evaluate the ESG performance.
Now, let's dive into the environmental practices. Water is the lifeblood of our planet, and for Coca-Cola, whose primary ingredient is water, responsible management is paramount. The 2030 water security strategy is not just a plan on paper. It's a commitment to replenishing the water they use in their products and give it back to nature and to the communities. In a remarkable achievement in 2022, Coca-Cola exceeded expectations by replenishing an impressive 159% of water used in their final beverages. This accomplishment is a testament to their dedication to making a positive impact on our planet's most precious resource. But the commitment doesn't stop there. Coca-Cola is actively engaged in improving the health of 60 critical watersheds tied to their operations and supply chains. This holistic approach recognizes the interconnectedness of ecosystems and underscores the company's determination to set higher standards for environmental responsibility. Let Coca-Cola's success in water replenishment inspire us. Their actions go beyond compliance, setting a benchmark for corporate environmental responsibility. As we applaud these achievements, may they serve as a catalyst for positive change across industries. In these graphs, you see the water use ratio, which is the amount of water used per liter of production. You see the water returned to the nature and communities in billions, and you see the fresh water's sources. Now, you can see from this graph over here that the water use ratio from 2014 to 2022 has just been constantly decreasing, meaning they use less water per product. And you can also see that the water returned to nature and communities is gradually increasing in that time period. That's showing us that their efficiency in using water and the way that they return it to the nature and communities is, well, it's becoming better.
So now onto packaging and recycling. In order to reduce carbon emissions and become a more ecological company, Coca-Cola has formed a circular economy in relation to their packaging. This means Coca-Cola tries to reduce material use, redesign materials, products and services to be less resource intensive, and recapture waste as a resource to manufacture new materials and products. By 2025, Coca-Cola aims to have all packaging 100% recyclable. In 2022, Coca-Cola managed to recall 61% of its bottles and cans in circulation for recycling purposes. Furthermore, 15% of PET bottles, which stands for polyethylene terephthalate, in their plastic bottles had previously been recycled already. Coca-Cola has also launched an initiative in 2022 to innovate in bio-based plastic packaging in order to obtain a lower carbon footprint. Now, Coca-Cola has also managed to keep a steady rate of collecting bottles and cans for recycling. From 2014 to 2022, about 60%. Recyclable packaging has also increased substantially by 5% from 2017 to 2022 to 90%. Now, the trends can be seen here on these graphs. You can see a substantial increase.
Now we look further into climate change initiatives. So Coca-Cola is investing a lot of their resources in order to approach their sustainability issues. They have a clear agenda on how to reduce their carbon footprint. They aim to reduce greenhouse gas emission and build resilience not only in their value chain, but also in their general community. The company is working on initiatives together with scientists in order to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by 25% in 2030. Now the progress can be seen already in 2022. Taking 2015 as a base year, they managed to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions by 7%, which is pretty substantial considering their large output that they are having. Furthermore, they have really ambitious goals and work really hard together with scientists already, as I already said, to become net zero by 2050. which is an ambitious goal, but with this progress, it's achievable for them. Now let's look at some data. So we can see here the greenhouse gas emissions in millions of metric tons have gone down by 0.05 points, which doesn't seem to be substantial. However, considering that they had a bigger production at this year, it's pretty substantial. So furthermore, they've increased their renewable electricity use, and by 2022 they are at 21%. Last but not least, the energy use ratio compared to the liters in production is at 0.38, which is also a reduction taking 2014 as a base year. Here you can see the data displayed in the graph. So the greenhouse gas emission, we can see that it's going down. We can see here the upward trend in renewable electricity use, and also here the quite substantial decrease in the use of energy per liter of Coca-Cola produced.
Now, moving on to social responsibility. Here we're going to cover two topics: human rights and community engagement. Coca-Cola is committed to respecting human rights throughout its value chain. What does this mean? Well, they were among the first companies to commit to the United Nations Guiding Principles on business and human rights, striving to inspire responsible business practices. Moving on here, as we can hear, community engagement, when it comes to this, through the guiding principles, right? What Coca-Cola did was, through their foundation, the Coca-Cola Foundation, they contributed $94.8 million to various organizations, which supported community welfare. This was in 2022. They focused on creating a better future for communities by their business. And so the Real Impact initiative drives progress in human rights, partnering across geographies for greater impact. Now, lastly, when it comes to evidence, right, we want to show you some examples. So here we have from 2010 to 2020, Global Initiative for Economic Empowerment of 5 million women. This was due to Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola Foundation. Also, by 2020, 6 million women were economically empowered. And lastly, the Coca-Cola Foundation also contributed to supporting micro businesses in the Philippines. Now, that shows a bit of charity and what Coca-Cola is all about.
Coca-Cola's social strategy consists of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Considering this, by 2030, they plan to be 50% led by women globally. And in 2022, 39% of their senior leaders were women, showing Coca-Cola's progress on their goal. Coca-Cola's DIE strategy focuses on establishing a workforce that is similar to the markets they serve, making it an inclusive culture where employees thrive and advancing equity within their business communities. This approach highlights their commitment to the DIE. So when comparing gender ratios with Pepsi, we can see that Coca-Cola has many more females employees, especially in the high-level roles. We can see here this like senior leadership and middle management. Now talking about the race representation in Coca-Cola, although the majority is white, almost 50% are from other races like Black and Hispanic.
Let's now analyze the matter of corporate governance through the lens of transparency and stakeholder engagement. The company adheres to high ethical standards which are critical for maintaining trust with stakeholders. This includes transparent reporting practices where Coca-Cola provides detailed information about its operation, financial performance, and sustainability initiatives. Transparency in corporate governance is crucial for accountability and helps in building and maintaining public trust. Effective corporate governance at Coca-Cola also involves regular engagement with various stakeholders. This includes not only shareholders but also employees, customers, suppliers, and community representatives. Such engagement ensures that the company is responsive to the needs and concern of all its stakeholders and can adapt to its strategies and operation accordingly.
So now I'm going to talk a bit about compliance and risk management in Coca-Cola. So the company operates in a highly regulated industry across multiple jurisdictions worldwide. Therefore, compliance with local and international laws and regulations is paramount. Due to selling its product in more than 200 countries, Coca-Cola acknowledges the need to adapt its formulas for the particular legal requirements for local markets. many times even implementing specific manufacturers in such territories to do so. The company has systems in place to ensure compliance, which includes regular audits and ongoing monitoring of legal and regulatory developments. Regarding the risk of competition, Coca-Cola is constantly innovating in its marketing strategies and product diversification, while maintaining the already well-established and recognized core values of branding. The image of the company is ingrained in a contemporary culture, adding an extra level of solidity in terms of resisting competition in the market.
Okay, so to conclude, I'm going to be going over the sustainability commitments, environmental achievements, and social responsibility. So, sustainability commitments. Coca-Cola excels in water stewardship, exceeding their 2030 water security strategy to target by replenishing 159% of the water used in 2022. Their circular economy approach to packaging aims for 100% recyclability by 2025, with notable achievements in recycling and bio-based plastic initiatives. So going for environmental achievements, the company has decided to reduce its carbon footprint by achieving a 7% decrease in absolute greenhouse gas emissions in 2022. So social responsibility, Coca-Cola actively contributes to human rights, with the Coca-Cola Foundation donating $94.8 million in 2022. Their diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy, aiming for 50% female leadership by 2030, showcases progress and comparisons with competitors, highlights stronger gender representation.
So hopping on to the effective corporate governance, Coca-Cola really focuses on ethical business practices. This means that they're committed to being transparent. They make sure that everyone knows what they're doing and how they're doing it. They also take time to listen and respond to the people who have stakes at their company, people like customers, employees, and the local community. So following international rule is also the big part of their approach. Coca-Cola is always working to improve how they govern the company, which shows that they are ready to adapt to the changes in different countries and around the world. So to continue with the ongoing journey and the positive global impact on the world right now, Coca-Cola's journey towards being a more sustainable and environmentally friendly company is ongoing. They have decided to make a positive impact on the world. One of the biggest goals that they have is to significantly reduce their environmental impact by the year 2050. They call this actually the net zero goal. To achieve this, Coca-Cola is looking at every part of their business to find ways to be more responsible. This includes efforts to use less energy, reduce waste, and be careful about how they use the natural resources. They are working on these things because they believe that successful business also means that taking care of the planet and the communities.